In this video, we're going to cover the introduction to FMS Vision. FMS Vision is a converted application. We've taken our existing COBOL 2E application and converted it to a Java HTML product. First off, in order to access the system, we want to use Google Chrome, Firefox, or Microsoft Edge. Internet Explorer is not supported. The reasoning for that is Internet Explorer is now the only web browser that allows us to do the Java pop-ups that you use now in our FMS Focus application. It's sometime in the future, Internet Explorer is also going to do away with that Java pop-up, just like Google and Firefox has done. And so we needed to do something to convert out of that Java pop-up platform into something different. So to access the system, what we're going to do from the address line, you're going to type in https://vision.fmssolutions.com. And once you do that, you'll press enter and you'll get to the sign-on screen. At this point, you can go ahead and click the star here and bookmark this page to put it in your favorites so you don't have to type in this long extension. The good news here is that your user and password are identical. So as it exists right now, any work that's done inside this Vision application can also be seen in the current application in what we're calling the Focus application. So you can really work in both applications, and it's really the same database behind the scenes. So if I was to key an invoice here in the Vision, I would be able to log into the existing system and see that invoice there. So again, same user IDs that you're using now and same passwords. Press enter to log in. So this is the login screen. So just a few things from a navigational standpoint. You'll notice here that the menus are off to the left. We have this frequent items section that keeps track of the 10 most used menu choices. And it continually ranks them as you sign off and sign back on. So the ones you use the most obviously will be up here at the top, and then ones that you use but not quite as much will appear down the bottom here. If you don't use it that often, then you'll have to access it through the regular menus. So again, that's the frequent menus. Down here, if you want to get in and access, you click on the section, so accounts payable. Then we have the little triangles here that expands the menu. So if I click on the triangle, you'll see exactly what's available inside those menu choices. One more different, this is totally security conditioned menus. So if you have access to something, you see it on your menu. If you don't have access to it, you won't see it on your menu. So you won't be able to click on something and say user not authorized like you may see now. You just won't see it on your menu if you're not authorized for it. A couple things as far as navigating around. I'll go ahead and click on vendors. You'll see what happens is it creates a tab and the vendor file is opened. I can be working in vendors, and then let's just say I wanted to hop over and key in invoices. I could then click over here and do enter AP transactions and start keying in invoices, and then always come back using the tab, come back to the vendors. So you can have unlimited number of tabs going across the screen, doing things at the same time. So what that eliminates is the need right now, you would physically sign back in and focus and create a whole nother session. Here that's not required. You can just click on it and open up the tabs and just continue to work through. Good. So the idea here is when you have the tabs open and you're done, what we'd like you to do is close your tabs. That just kind of keeps it nice and clean and crisp, so we don't exit out, let's say, while you're in the middle of an invoice or something like that. So to close the tab, what we'd like you to do is go ahead and hit the exit. You get to this FMS splash screen. Once you're at the splash screen, we'd like you to go ahead and hit the X to close the window. So again, if I want to go ahead and hit exit, I get to the FMS splash screen. I can then go ahead and hit the X here and get out of there. One more thing I want to show you here. If I went into vendors and let's say I want to see more information on the screen, this little diagonal box here hides the menu. So you can see now you get a full screen. If I click on that button there, it kind of brings it back. So just a little word there about that. Go ahead and hit exit here. Again, I get to the splash screen. I then hit the exit to close it out. Currently we have a timeout of 1 hour, so if nothing happens on your screen in a period of 1 hour, the session will time out, and that's 100% used for security, so it doesn't stay open when you're not at your desk and someone could potentially come in and access it. A couple more things about just the navigation. Up here we have our print. This is the same as your portal. So if you go into your portal now and you click on the spool file tabs, you get a screen that looks very similar to the screen that we're going to see on the screen here. So again, if the idea here is if you're using your portal now to print, you really don't have to have them both open. Right inside the FMS Vision application, you can access your print files at any time. Once you have them here, just like the portal displays 90 days, but if you wanted to do more than 90, you can change the dates and look back if you're using your spool files to kind of hold reports as a filing type system. In order to view a document, what you would do is you would check the box, and then you would click on how you want to view it, Excel or Adobe. So in this case, I'll go ahead and just open it up in Adobe. So again, there's that file. This is not very pretty report here, but then once you have it here, you can print it, you can download it, email it, whatever it is that you want to do. To close it, you go ahead and hit the X on the prompt there. If you're working in here, let's say you go over and you run another report. So if I went into vendors and just highlight a vendor here, and I'll go to do a print as an illustration. So when I come back to spool files, you're going to have to click the reload button to refresh the screen, and then whatever you printed should then appear as it does here at the top of your list. You check the box and you go ahead and click the Adobe, and there's that single vendor that I printed out. So that's using the spool files. So again, most of our clients now are using this by keeping the spool files open. You have multiple tabs where you continue to work on items, and then as you want to print things or view things or open them and email them, whatever you want to do, you come over to your spool file to get that done. So if I'm ready to exit out of the system, what we want you to do, again, if you hit exit, you get to the splash screen, close the tab, exit, get to the splash screen, close the tab. Once all your tabs are closed, you then come over here and click the logout button, and then it takes you back to the login, and then of course you can then close your browser. So that concludes this session of just navigating and accessing the software.